As you see, the panelists are already here and ready to give us their view or at least perspective on the matter. So, Mr. Luch, if you could please come forward and address us. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. I come in peace. We're big Sharks fans. Don't shoot me. I'm here to tell you a little bit about naturism. Last week, I returned from Ireland from the World Council meeting. We call it the International Naturist Federation World Council meeting, where there was more than 30 countries represented there. And I don't know how many 100 million naturists were represented there. Just to tell you about the organization in South Africa, I'm chairman of the South African National Naturist Association. And our first province was Western Cape, and we're privileged to have Serge here. He's the chairman of Western Cape Naturist Association. And I want to thank you the way the council has handled this situation, I think very professionally. I admire you guys to have done the homework you've done. You've clearly had a look at how big it is worldwide. France imports, let's call it, 3.5 million naturist visitors per year that go to France for holidays. Those numbers cannot be ignored. In Germany, there's 7 million naturists that either go to a naturist resort in Germany or outside Germany, mostly in Europe, France, Spain, Italy. Croatia is big now with naturism. And the euro, guys, let me tell you right now, my better half Amanda and myself cashed in 10,000 Rand, we got 710 euros. The euro is a powerful amount of money if they come here and they spend the euros here. There's a huge demand worldwide. Our weather is fantastic. And so there's no reason why they wouldn't want to come here, if welcome. So let me explain to you about the INF, the International Naturist Federation, and I want to read to you, if you don't mind, from the statutes of the INF, the International Naturist Federation. The purpose of this non-profit association is naturism stroke nudism. We prefer the word naturism because everyone thinks if you're nude, you're immediately having sex. And it's crazy. So naturism stroke nudism is a way of life in harmony with nature, whose activities are not directed towards profit. It is characterized by the practice of common nudity, with the intention of encouraging respect for oneself, respect for others, and respect for the environment. Serge will tell you now how often they clean the beaches at Sandy Bay. Go along with the black bags and they clean it up. German gentleman was telling me earlier on that type of thing happens around here as well. Secondly, the goal of naturism stroke nudism is the promotion of the physical and mental health of humans in nature or in athletic activities. Naturism is huge in different sports in Europe. The INF supports all initiatives that nurture the body, the mind, and the soul, and opposes anything that can cause harm, especially the abuse of nicotine, alcohol, and drugs. It promotes the protection of nature and the environment. So that's what the INF says in their statutes. I'm not here to try and convince you, what's good and what's bad, but I'm here to enlighten you on what naturism is about.
And you might be surprised. Yes, walking around naked is not something that you do every single day. But you might be surprised how much health aspect being a naturist has. And I will give you facts. According to the United States National Commission on Mental Health, the healthiest, happiest, and sanest people are nudists. After 6 years of studying hundreds of groups, those are the facts. Those are the facts. As I said, it sounds strange, but it's a fact. After 6 years of studying hundreds of groups and organizations and rating the mental health of their members, the Commission found that naturists came out on top. And I quote now, the nudists came out so far in front that virtually every other group studied looks like gathering of lunatics, perverts, and criminals in comparison. That's in the words of Mr. Dr. Edward Harper Moore, spokesman for the Commission. A sociologist who was on teaching staff at Harvard University before joining the Commission, Dr. Moore, said he was so impressed with the statistic on nudists that he and his family now practice naturism. Naturism in this country, and I have experienced that in 1991, when I went first time to Nude Debate. Once upon a time was the family thing. Naturism as a movement is a family-oriented movement. You could see on Sandy Bay in 1991, Oma, Opa with their grandkids and kids spending time on the beach. You could see you had a volleyball set over there. We do as well as WCNA, Western Cape Nature Association. On 14th of December, if you come to Cape Town, come and visit us on the beach. We'll have a volleyball, we'll have a rugby balls. We clean after ourselves. When you see us on the beach, you'll think, what's wrong with this municipality or Cape Town? Did they go naturists too? Because it's 5, 6 people with black bags in their hands walking around the beach and picking up the rubbish from the beach. So we don't want to offend anybody. We want that safe, secure environment that we can enjoy our lifestyle. Your beach around the corner over here, I believe, is commonly known in this area as a naturist beach. Even though legally is not known as a naturist beach, it's commonly known. It is away, it is secluded. You see, this is misconceptions that I believe we as a nature associations around the country, we got to do in order to educate the public about our lifestyle. That's why we're going around the country and establishing this association with SANA as an umbrella body. We believe that we will be able to do that work around the country and educate the people what naturism is all about. Where is it appropriate to be nude and when it is appropriate to be nude? It is not appropriate for me, even though I don't have a problem with that, but it's not appropriate for me now to take my clothes off in this environment. It is not appropriate for me to walk around and do my shopping naked. But your secluded beach around the corner over here will bring you well to your businesses in your region, will bring you the naturists from overseas visiting your area, and will bring the prospect to your environment over here. To tell you, and I'll give you statistics again, and this is statistics from, for example, from Australia. Nudist naturists are a group of middle to high income group that travels, group that spend the money. Majority of them are pensioners and retired or self-employed. And believe you me or not, there's about 7% that work for government. For many naturists in UK, for example, and I quote over here, their naturist holiday abroad is a highlight of the year, and they really is something to cater for all tastes and pockets. They include top-class hotel holiday resort with acres of land. Often, once people have tried a naturist holiday, they never choose to do otherwise. For your community over here, I think you can't go wrong. People are going to go nude anyhow at that part of your area over there. It is being done for the last 20 years. They will continue doing it. So there's no harm in making it official anyhow.
I think just to mention what Serge said about the class of people that are naturists, we've got, believe it or not, brain surgeons. We mentioned the lunatics. We've got bank managers, we've got attorneys that are top attorneys. So, you know, really it's not people that are weird or, you know, have got some sort of mental problem. So with that, I'd just like to thank you for the opportunity and thank you to the council for looking at this seriously. And I'll answer any questions later on once you want to put it.
We gained our freedom 20 years ago, and many of those freedoms are ensconced and enshrined in our Constitution. For example, the freedom of speech, the freedom of religion, the freedom of movement. And what really is freedom? And I think the best answer to that lies in John Stuart Mill, who was a British philosopher in the 19th century, who defined liberty in his essay on liberty as the ability to do anything you want to do, provided it doesn't impact negatively on other people. Provided it doesn't impact negatively on other people. So, and part of this philosophy is a recognition that every person who isn't mentally deficient is a rational being, able to make up their own minds what they want to do and where they want to go. So, my information that I got from Vic Nielsen from Munster about this section of beach, and I'm totally unfamiliar with it, is that it's not all that well used, that there's not a lot of people that walk on that beach regularly, and it is... I'm making no assumptions. I actually phoned Vic Nielsen.
Vic Nielsen doesn't live in Munster. Why wasn't he consulted? He lives in Munster. So don't cover that.
All right. So my conclusion, and I must say this is a personal thing. I can't say this is on behalf of the ratepayers. Is that if the information is of that beach that it's not all that well used, and if the section that they want is well signposted, so people who don't want to be exposed to that don't have to go there, and if the participants take care of their own security, then I've got no problem with it. I really don't.
Thank you.
What you want to do over here is not a confined environment. That gentleman, with all respect, Mr. Ransom, you've got no idea what's going on down in the yard. You've never walked in your life there once. All of us people who live here, who utilize this facility, people who ride horses, they pay good money to take a horse and ride all the way down there and back. I've got nothing against, sorry sir, my turn. I've got nothing against naturism per se. What I have got something against is the fact that you want to make our beach, which is a public facility and a blue flag beach, which is utilized by all the people here, you want to take that away from us. And now, how are you going to do this anyway? I want to walk from here down to Mpunyati because I want to go and catch fish. Now then, by the end of Mpunyati, now there's you guys. Now I can't pass and I can't take my wife and my family past here. Now you, now you mean my freedom to utilize my beach to the extent that I can. My suggestion is that whatever you want to do is fine, but not in a place where there's public utilization of the facilities. Now, none of you can tell me that it's a private beach. It's not a private beach, it's a public beach. And that's always been a public beach where people walk all the way there and back. They take their walks, their dogs, everybody, their horses, and everything for walks. This is not the place for it. If you find a place like Sandy Bay, for instance, is a desolate, away from everybody else for a purpose. Now, that's the same purpose that has to apply here. All of speaking for myself, and I'm sure most of the residents will agree with me, people who live here don't want to have to walk around you guys when you want to go down to the Mpunyati. We've got a hell of a big coastline all along the coast. Why here? Why on our blue flag beach? And now you want to tell us that it won't impact on our freedom of movement. Rubbish. It won't impact on our freedom of movement.
Seeing that you know Sandy Bay and how far it is to walk, I take it you have been there. Apart from that, guys, you know, he's quite right. We can't monitor the beaches all day, every day. And if it is your private bit that you want to keep to yourself, I respect your attitude. Honestly, I respect your point of view. I'm not here to say to you, listen, we want that beach and you know we don't want to hear your problems. That's not what it's about. It's just about saying, guys, we're looking for a beach for the naturists, and if that's it, then it's fine. If it's not, we'll find one somewhere.
Thank you.
My name is Gavin McDonnell. I'm a local resident. I happen to have lived in Cape Town for 16 years and many times visited Sandy Bay. Just to start with, Trafalgar Beach is a blue flag beach, but that is from here, where the old tidal pool went, all the way to Marina Beach. That is the blue flag beach. The rest is not actually designated as a blue flag beach. It is an open beach for everyone to go along. I have walked along that beach almost probably 5 days a week for the last 6 years, okay? And I have seen maybe 4 or 5 people in this entire audience on that beach ever walking on that beach. So anyone who says they walk there regularly, going fishing and things like that, they do not. They do not. They may go at 4 o'clock in the morning to walk on the beach, but that's it. They are off the beach before the beach goers even get close to it. Plus, I have never seen you walking on the beach. I'll tell you that now. In 6 years, never. I've seen you walking on the beach. I've seen those people walking on the beach. I've seen the Ratepayers Association. Andrew, I've seen him and his wife walking on the beach. All the rest of it. Anyway, the fact is that naturists do not disturb the peace of the environment. People at Sandy Bay keep the peace on the beach. Anybody who comes to cause trouble on the beach is summarily rounded up and marched off the beach so that they cannot cause any more trouble.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gavin.
I would like to emphasize a few points. First, according to this gentleman, only very well-educated people go to Nudist Beach. I have an adult education master's degree achieved at Southampton University. I have traveled across the world. I have been on Nice's beach where I've seen nude people. I've been in Croatia where I've seen nude people. I have been in Spain where there's a secluded little beach and we walked to a cliff to look at the sea and all these nude people, when they saw us, scurried under the cliff face. There is a law against nudity. So if people want to be nude, I have no problem with it. I walk around nude in my house. Yes. But when I see myself in the mirror, I think, phew, I look like those old people on the beaches I saw overseas. Everything droops. And I don't want to look at drooping boobs and buttocks on the beach. So, if we could have all the young bikini girls walking around there, and I'm not a lesbian, so I don't want to see these young nude girls. So I say to you nude guys, stay in the bushes. We have no problem with that. But if you are attacked, and let me tell you something, I have been going to this beach, have had 4 houses here for the last 50 years. And the only woman who was ever murdered on our beach here in the dunes was a nude woman. So my question is, how safe is it to have nude people running around? We cannot control the criminality on our beaches as it is. We can't even fix the potholes in our roads. So you guys can do what you like for your nudism. But I don't want my grandchildren to see a scraggy nude guy.
Thank you very much. Your name, please? Your name?
I am Raina Ubat, and I'm part of the Ratepayers Association.
Hi everyone, my name is Andre van Rensburg. I'm head of security, sector police. I'd just like to ask that man, Ferdinand, the top question. He said that nudists is going to do a lot of crime. A lot of crime is coming to the area. I'd just like to know how nudists and crime comes. How do you do that?
How do you put
So
together?
who are you directing your question to?
That Ferdinand. He said that the nudist is going to bring a lot of crime to the area. I'd like to know, how does he come to that crime? How?
That's what we are saying.
So
The
you
kind
say-
of people we have, we've got a troublesome people in our communities, the whole of South Coast. That's what we are saying.
So your words was that will bring crime to this area. You said it will bring crime to this area.
It will add. It will add on the
sir,
crime
that's not
that
what
we
you said.
already have.
That's not what you said. Firstly, there's a lot of people that will be robbed on the beach because you know why? There's one couple there, they get robbed. The more people on the beach, the less crime. So I don't know how you can say that will bring crime to the area.
That's our word, we are saying no.
Okay. Yes, sir. Introduce yourself, please.
My name is Andrew Bromley Gans. I live in this area and have had a house here in this area since 1983. I think that there is a misunderstanding about the crime aspect there. The gentleman over there was saying that he is scared that having a nudist beach there will attract criminal elements there. He is looking after the safety of the people. But my question to you people is that as far as I'm concerned, or as I know, the Mzimvela own the property right up to the high water mark. And that property that we are discussing, as far as I can work out, is Mzimvela Beach. Because they are the people that apprehend me if I let my dogs off their leashes there. They're the people who care for the whole area there. They're the people who come and ask me for fishing licenses when I go fishing there. So I think that possibly we should really have had a representative from Mzimvela here too, because I think that the property that we're talking about is Mzimvela.
We do control it to a certain extent, but we know that most of this property falls under the jurisdiction of the Department of Public Works and Environmental Affairs. So I think that must also be taken into consideration.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Sam Wilson. I live in Palm Beach. I'm a regular user of the beach in question. What I'd like to make the observation that after the floods last year, when there was tons and tons of plastic bottles on the beach, not one person in Trafalgar made any move to clean it up. I witnessed it myself. I will
Unsubstantiated statements. Sorry, you can't make unsubstantiated
okay, maybe.
Let's allow him to finish, then you can disagree afterwards.
What I saw was that the beach in question stayed full of these plastic bottles for months and months and months until two residents, nudists from Palm Beach, took it on themselves to clean up that beach section there. They gathered all the bottles together. They gathered all the bottles together. Now, I don't know which bottles and which beaches these other people are talking about, but that beach itself was left there. Yeah, right, that was the one thing. The second thing is that from my observations, the people who walk on the beach and take their dogs for a walk go in the early morning while it's cool. By myself as well, by 11 o'clock, Mondays to Fridays, the place is deserted. Nobody's using that section of beach. I don't know what section of beach that is I'm talking about, but that section of beach in question, just north of the river, is not used for nearly hours on end, particularly in the mornings, after the people have walked their dogs in the morning. I agree with you, there's dogs there. And occasionally, and I mean I'm also regularly, occasionally people ride horses there.
Every day.
Excuse me. Only occasionally do they go all the way to the street. Usually they turn around long before they get to that beach in question. So I would like to suggest that there is room for the walkers in the morning. And the idea is that the nudist beach should be made a clothing optional beach that can be utilized after the walkers have done their walk in the morning from 9 o'clock onwards. I think that there is an opportunity to cater for everybody on this beach. I don't think we need to have it either yes or no. I think a combination of a time limit on, for walking unobstructed or walking in the shadow, I can do. And, so as somebody who goes there very regularly, and, I think that the noise and the fuss that we're getting about this is out of all proportion to the people. These ladies and gentlemen in front of me, I haven't seen on that beach once.
Thank you. I'm David Holt-Biddle. I'm the chairman of the Trafalgar Conservation Group. Just for the record, we clean up this beach on a regular basis. In fact, we had volunteers on the beach this past Saturday, which was International Coastal Cleanup Day. We do it every year, and when there's been a bad storm or something like that, I'm speaking, you had your turn. Whenever there's a bad storm or something like that, and the rivers come down in flood and bring all the muck with them, we go down and we do a special cleanup. There are people in this room who are out there on Saturday morning cleaning up the beach, so I really would beg to differ on that one. And I'd like to follow up on what Andrew Bromley-Gann said, who's with the Trafalgar Ratepayers Association, by the way, that this whole beach from Centre Rocks at that end, all the way down to Palm Beach at that end, is the Trafalgar Marine Reserve. It is a declared conservation area and hardly the place for this type of activity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My name is Joy Crutchfield. I have been actively involved in ratepayers associations and I am involved in tourism. It seems to me that we're dealing with two issues. The one is timing, the other is place. It's not that we are against people being nudist or not being nudist. That is our democratic right to be that which we wish to be. But we have to live together in harmony. And I think it would be a huge shortcoming of this meeting if we didn't take cognizance of what is being said regarding the timing, regarding are we ready to welcome a public place as a nudist beach. We've heard the voice of the Traditional Council. I know that they met extensively yesterday discussing this. It was a day's issue. And I think we need to appeal to our naturists and their association to please give due consideration to the opinion that is being expressed at this meeting today. It's not that they don't wish you to be nudists. That's already been said. We believe in democratic rights. But we do need to understand the dynamics. Also, the fact that it's about place. Why is it Trafalgar? Because that is the core of the members of this association. Could it be better placed elsewhere? And I appeal to the applicants to please consider time and place. And perhaps it's too early, perhaps it's the wrong place. Certainly that's the feeling that is coming out of this meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name is Manfred Schmidtke. I'm since '86 a Trafalgar resident. I do not understand why so narrow-minded. I do not understand it at all. Because these people would bring us economic growth. They would go into our restaurants, they would spend the money there. So I don't understand this. What brings the horses to us? Horse shit. That's all what they're bringing, sorry. Who allowed them to go in and using the beach? Was that agreed by the Yugo people? I doubt it.
It's not against the minister.
So, it has nothing to do with it. They're using our beach with it. And I have no problems that the nudists could use that beach here. Thank you. Thank you.
So I really think it's really unnecessary to have that sort of thing on our beaches. Find somewhere else. But I mean, people are using it, walking all the way to the river. Maybe not all day, every day, but it is used that way. So just that's a strong point.
Okay, all right, thank you.
My name is Dustin McRory. I'm with the South Coast Tourism. I think I'm going to try and address some elements from the naturist community. If I support this, I'm damned, and if I'm against it, I'm damned. So I'm going to take a middle road on this one in some respects. But just to answer the question in terms of the tourism economy, the South Coast from top to bottom thrives, when it does thrive, on family value tourism. Simple as that. Yes, naturism has a niche, and in my private capacity we'll have a debate on that one at some stage. But certainly if you look at the size of our market niches, if we take birding for example, take naturism for example, they're very small niches which in a sense I don't think, and I stand to be corrected, maybe you need to do an economic survey to strengthen your cause, is to see how much strength will be added to the tourism economy if there is a take-up of a relatively small niche, particularly in the South African context. We are 80 to 90% South African destination. We haven't become competitive as an international destination, so there'll be a hell of a lot of effort needed and required to try and focus through whatever associations you have visitation from people who do like to be in nature spaces. So I hope, now getting to the property side of it, now George, I think you would have said something about the property market. It's a double-edged sword. You may well have very strong investors in properties who are favourable towards naturism, and you may also have a negative side to it too. And I think maybe the people who are in the property business might be able to give an indication from case studies elsewhere. Look, I know Sandy Bay is very close to the London knows of this world and places like that, and that's a different type of tourism economy. But I'd just like to say that we as a tourism organisation will will focus on family-based tourism. It's not to say that we don't recognize the issues within the sector.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not going to discuss the pros and cons of having a nudist beach or not. I'm just glad that I was here today and that this was arranged to hear the views of all the different parties and the community and the naturalists. And I think it'll make it possible for us now in council to take an informed decision and to do what is best for everybody. And I just want to thank the people that arranged this for today. I think it was a great idea. Thank you.
But before we wrap up, I would really like to get the final responses from my panelists.
Guys, we're not the weirdos. We came here to say we're quite normal people, and any question afterwards, come to me, we can discuss it. We've got people that argue religion with us, we've got pastors that are members with us, so we can give you all the information you need. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Heather.
Our part as officials, we think this has been such an eye-opening discussion. When we prepare an item to council, we will obviously accommodate and factor in all this discussion, and then I think council will then be in a better position to apply its mind and its wisdom. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
God has created us and He designed us by imparting free will in us so that we'll have choices to make. But with the very same token, He gave us an intellect where our reasoning power is so that we'll be able to discern clearly between what is good and what is bad, between what is of God's will and what is not of God's will. And the nature interprets itself. I thank you.
On behalf of all the community, we say thank you, but we still believe there is a more research and other things to try to convince this community. But at this stage, we don't feel we've been convinced that we can allow this. Thank you.
Thank you, Program Director. I haven't got an awful lot to add. Just to perhaps restate the fact that liberty is important for each one of us, that each one of us can make our own decisions and decide where we want to walk. So if we want to walk down this beach, we can turn around 500 meters before we get to the Mpanyati River. We can make that decision. And we are obviously a democracy, so I would urge the council when it debates this issue to think about the greatest good for the greatest number. Thank you.
I think everything has been said that we expected would happen at a meeting like this. And there are those that are really serious on opposing it, and there are also those that feel that it can be of benefit. So I think, as it's been said, that we will take all this into consideration, and then it'll go to council, and then we will take the final decision. But as the whole thing is, you know, what will be, and if you lose out, then you must accept it. But you know, eventually these things will sort themselves out. So thank you again for everybody for being here and for all the comments that were made. Some people were quite serious on this, but let's hope that the best decision is taken.